Shalom. All praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem HaKadosh. Double honors unto the apostles and elders of GMS, or the true leaders of Israel today, and salutations to all of the Akim who do this work in truth and sincerity, who risking their lives and their freedoms to do so, as well as the scattered Israelites who come looking like the heathen but are not, by way of their forefathers seeds who are Israelite men. The true name of the Most High is Yahweh, and his son's name is Yahushai. And the Lord's holy chosen people are the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, as we're the ones who suffer under the curses in the book of Deuteronomy. My name is Akalil, and this is another prophecy update regarding the World War III prophecy and any other topics that may come about, right? So in the news, literally today, December 11th, 2024, the hopeful year of Jacob's trouble, we have another attack on Russia. Right now, the article will really, put us up to speed as to the escalation of why it is here right now. So I'll get into that. But first, I just must read this because this is Bible prophecy in Revelation chapter 11 and verse 14. The second woe is past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly. So the second woe is World War II, and the third woe is World War III. All right. So World War III is a part of Bible prophecy, and it is clear to see it is on the table, right? It is clear to see that it's building up, just like all of these other prophecies, right? What other prophecies are to come? Because there's some major prophecies left to come. We have the Mark of the Beast prophecy, which is a mark chip, the World War III prophecy, and the return of Yahushai, which is simultaneous with the destruction of America, which is Mystery Babylon the Great, right? But Mystery Babylon the Great is a miracle, by the way. And before the destruction of America can come, the Mark of the Beast prophecy has to be made fully manifest. The hour of temptation, spoken about in Revelation 3 verse 10, and he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, Revelation chapter 13 verse 16 and 17. All right, so that must come to pass before the destruction, right? Because there is a judgment for those who take the mark chip, which is the mark of the beast. But this World War III prophecy is building up daily. Every single day we're hearing some kind of thing that's going on, right? Some kinds of talks. And so now we have on this day another attack on Russia. And why is it that this is important? Because Russia is a major player in World War III. Regarding Bible prophecy, major players include Russia and her allies, and Russia's allies. You can take a look at the BRICS nations, BRICS, to see who is aligned with Russia, right? But you have like Iran that is allied with Russia as well, okay? And you have the so-called African nations that are allied with Russia. This is Bible prophecy, okay? And then you have on the other end America, right? And NATO and the European Union, and then their unofficial member of the NATO, which is the state of Israel, the Israelis, right? These are all major players regarding Bible prophecy. These are the major players when it comes to the World War III prophecy, because the Lord is going to gather them over there in the so-called Middle East. All right, so Russia vows from Reuters, Russia vows response after Ukraine used US-made ATACMS to strike airfield. All right, and this is another strike on Russia. And this is another strike on Russia that has just happened in the past, 2 weeks or so. So things are speeding up. Things are happening more quickly, right? Responses are occurring from country to country more quickly. Okay, so the summary: Ukraine strikes Russia with ATACMS. Russia says Russia could fire new missile again. U.S. official says Russia says it destroyed 6 U.S. ATACMS. So Russia said on Wednesday that Ukraine has struck a military airfield on the Azov Sea with 6 US-made ATACMS ballistic missiles, a move that could prompt Moscow to launch another experimental intermediate-range hypersonic missile at Ukraine. Russia's defense ministry said 2 of the missiles fired by Ukraine were shot down by a Pantsir missile defense system, and the rest were destroyed by electronic warfare. On the morning of December 11, 2024, the Kyiv regime launched a missile strike with Western precision weapons at the Taganrog military airfield in the Rostov region, the defense ministry said. This attack by Western long-range weapons will not go unanswered and appropriate measures will be taken, it said. Russia fired a new intermediate-range hypersonic ballistic missile known as Oreshnik or Hazel Tree at Ukraine on November 21st in what President Vladimir Putin said was a direct response to strikes on Russia by Ukrainian forces with US and British missiles. You see? So Ukraine struck Russia, Russia struck back, now Ukraine is striking Russia again. Okay? This is quite serious because this is the Lord putting the spirit on the Russians to retaliate and eventually go to war. And this is Bible prophecy. Bible prophecy says that this would happen. Okay? In Ezekiel chapter 38, okay? And verse 2, it says, Son of man, set thy face against Gog, the land of Magog, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal, and prophesy against him. So Gog and Magog are the Russians today, right? The original Gog and Magog, those are not, the Russians, because the Russians are Edomites. But this is referring to the landmass, right? So the Russians are in that landmass where Gog and Magog once dwelt, right? So it's referring to the Russians, okay? And thus saith the Lord Yahweh, behold, I am against thee, O Gog, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal, which is Russia, right? And once again, it's because they dwell in that land today where Gog and Magog once dwelt, okay? And I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws, and I'll bring thee forth and all thine army, horses and horsemen, all of them clothed with all sorts of armor. So the Lord is going to be putting spiritual hooks into Russia, right? I.e., or that is, the Lord is simply just going to put the spirit on the Russians to go to war, right? And what we're seeing right now is that Russia is being roused up, because they're being attacked and they're responding. They're not just going to sit back and be allowed to be attacked, but they're responding, right? And then it says, even a great company with bucklers and shields, all of them handling swords, right? So Russia, when Russia goes to war, they're going to have a great company, their allies, Persia, which is known today as Iran, the Iranians, Ethiopia and Libya with them. Those are countries in Africa. Those are referring to the so-called Africans who are the Hamites, all right? All of them with shield and helmet. Gomer and all his bands, the house of Togarmah of the north quarters, and all his bands and many people with thee. And this is talking about the Turkish people, Turkey, right? And you may be wondering, well, Turkey is a part of NATO. Well, things are going to happen where Turkey will be joining Russia and her allies, all right? And the same thing where Gog and Magog once dwelt, and that's referred to as where the Russians now dwell in that land, is the same thing here for Gomer and all his bands, the house of Togarmah, right? Turkey is in that space where Gomer and Togarmah once dwelt, right? Is the same thing. So that's how we're able to identify them, all right? And you can check a biblical map regarding that, okay? Be thou prepared, and prepare for thyself, thou and all thy company that are assembled unto thee, and be thou a guard unto them. So Russia is going to be a guard unto its allies, right? So, from all of that information, here it is that what's happening right now is that the Lord is putting the spirit upon the Russians, right, to go to war. Okay, so here it is. A U.S. official said on Wednesday that Russia could launch another hypersonic ballistic missile in Ukraine in the coming days, but Washington does not consider the Oreshnik weapon a game changer in the war. After approval from the administration of President Joe Biden, Ukraine struck Russia with 6 U.S.-made ATACMS on November 19th, and with British Storm Shadow missiles and US-made HIMARS on November 21st. I mean, we're quite frankly, speaking as a man, at the beginning stages of World War III, right? You know what I'm saying? Because for Ukraine to be attacking Russia with US-made and British-made missiles, that automatically draws America into the war and automatically draws the British into the war, which they're part of NATO, which brings NATO into the war, and which then automatically brings the European Union into the war, right? Because they're all allied. So Russia just sees them all on the same side, and Putin, after those attacks, said that the Ukraine war was escalating towards a global conflict after the United States and Britain allowed Ukraine to hit Russia with their weapons and warned the West that Moscow could strike back. The war is entering what some Russian and Western officials say could be its final and most dangerous phase as Moscow's forces advance at their fastest pace since the early weeks of the conflict. President-elect Donald Trump, who takes office next month, has pushed a ceasefire and negotiations to end the war quickly, leaving Washington's long-term support for Ukraine in question. It's not going to happen. There's nothing that Donald Trump can do because the Lord is in complete control. And Bible prophecy is at the forefront, right? Which is the word of Yahweh Shemin Shai. So you can see whatever kind of information they may throw out there, but once you're rooted in the scriptures and once you're rooted in prophecy, you know what time it is. All right? Things are going to continue to escalate. It can't stop. Okay? So it says, Russia's 2020 invasion of Ukraine has left tens of thousands of dead, displaced millions, and triggered its biggest crisis. Okay, so cool. So they, you know how it is over here in the West, right? In America and stuff, Russia is consistently demonized and Iran is consistently demonized, right? But this is all beautiful to see, man, because these things are happening more quickly, right? And we're going to have to see how this escalates because, today is the day. It says updated 3 hours ago. So we're going to see how this continues to escalate. But it's a very beautiful thing to see, man, because it means that our salvation is close, right? But always keep eyes on the movement of the microchip, the mark of the beast, right? Because once again, the destruction cannot come until that is implemented fully worldwide, right? But the Lord is putting the spirit on these heathen, man, okay? Isaiah 13 and verse 4, the noise of a multitude in the mountains, like as of a great people, a tumultuous noise of the kingdoms of nations gathered together, the Lord Yahweh of hosts mustereth the host of the battle, right? So the Lord is bringing war to the world. And it's going to be that World War III, man, and he's going to be gathering the heathen nations together over there in the so-called Middle East to fight this war. Revelation chapter 16 verse 16 says it's the war of Armageddon, right? And in Joel chapter 3 and verse 9 it says, proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war, wake up the mighty men, let all the men of war draw near, let them come up, beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears, let the weak say, I am strong. Assemble yourselves and come all ye heathen, and gather yourselves together round about. Thither cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Lord Yahweh. Let the heathen be wakened and come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat, which is Yehoshaphat, Yahweh's judgment, for there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about. So the Lord is putting the spirits on all these heathen to go to war, man. It's going to be all for their own destruction. You know what I'm saying? And this war that is going to be fought, at the heads of it are Edomites, are Edomite powers. Russia is a great Edomite power in this world, right? And then they are against the other Edomite powers, which is an alliance of the majority, which is an Edomite majority alliance, right? And the Edomites are these so-called white people, by the way. Okay, they rule this wicked kingdom. Okay, so you have them fighting, and the scriptures say, Satan be divided against himself, he cannot stand. A wicked kingdom has an end, right? There's no harmony among the nation of Edom. They have an end. But we know that there always has been an end because it is written. Because in 2 Esdras chapter 6 and verse 7 it says, then answered I and said, what shall be the parting asunder of the times, and when shall be the end of the first and the beginning of it that followeth? And he said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born of him, Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau, right? Jacob is us, the Israelites. Esau is them, the Edomites, and this is their world, right? For Esau is the end of the world, which means the end of this age, right? The world isn't going to be completely destroyed. It's talking about the end of this age, all right, which is the age of the rulership of the Edomites, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. So this is the final kingdom that we have to suffer under, right? And it would be an Edomite kingdom. And so now our kingdom is coming next, all right? And so that's why we're seeing all of these prophecies building up so swiftly at this point, because like we're swiftly approaching the end of the kingdom of the Edomites, and there are many things to come. There's other prophecy to come, such as Jacob's trouble, right, which is a great time of tribulation upon us as a nation. That time is coming. We're going to have to go through that. Esau, Edom is coming with their NWO agenda, with their mark of the beast, which is the market chip at the forefront of it. That's going to cause a lot of hell upon us, man. All right, all of these things are coming, right? Things are really moving about, and the scriptures say in Revelation chapter 12, verse 12, that the devil knows that he has but a short time, right? So he's going to be coming with great wrath. So things are really moving along, because even I saw a brother do a video, the brother Stay in the Spirit 144. He did a video on these drones that they're saying that is flying over New Jersey that are the size of SUVs, and they're saying that these drones are from Iran, right? Which Iran is an ally to Russia, and they're on the opposing end of the Western powers, America, US, America, NATO, the European Union, right? Now, of course, when it comes to the devil, the stories that they tell are not to be trusted. You can't trust this devil. The scriptures say never trust thine enemy, right? So even when they put things out on the news, you're skeptical, because are those drones or are those chariots of the Most High? But regardless of that, it is all a joy unto those that believe, the hopeful elect, right? But let's just say it is in fact Iran with their drones in New Jersey. They're talking about how there's some mothership of Iranian mothership, as you can see, off the shore of America. But that is a very huge security breach. Iran has drones in America. And knowing biblical prophecy, how Iran is such an important part of Bible prophecy, I mean, things are really heating up, right? It is important to truly stay in the spirit, because anything can pop off, man, at any time. Okay? And based off of biblical prophecy, we know that Iran, they're those Carmanians spoken about, and they are, to me, looking at geographical tension, just looking at the world, it appears to me that Iran is in fact Russia's closest ally. And even the scripture mentions Iran first, Persia, when it mentions Russia's allies. And in 2 Ezra 15 and verse 30, it says, also the Carmanians, who are the Iranians, who are the biblical Elamites, raging in wrath, shall go forth as the wild boars of the wood, and with great power shall they come and join battle with them, and shall waste a portion of the land of the Assyrians. And the Assyrians is talking about the Edomites here. So they're going to be going to battle, man, and they're going to have a spirit upon them to really go out there and slaughter their enemy, right? So these times are coming, man. Okay, these times are coming, and just, as I said, stay in the spirit. Try the best that you can, man. All right, I know it's harder. It's quite hard because we're in the chains of darkness, but try to stay in the spirit as much as possible, man. Okay? So this is just another update regarding the World War III situation. We will see how it goes. And it wasn't only Routers who reported this, RT reported this as well. And we'll just see how it all continues. All right? But we do know that what will happen based off of Bible prophecy. Okay? So with that, all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh Shemishai Bashim Kodesh. Shalom.